afternoon. Happy Friday. This is Sean LaBelle of the Dekker Hewett Group. It was a positive week here for all North American benchmarks, posting gains of between 2 and 4%. Leading the way higher was growth. The NASDAQ, for one, had gains of around 4% on the week. Moving markets higher was a better than expected earnings season. So far, around 20% of S&P 500 constituents have reported earnings. 70% are beating expectations. Now, that's a really important number to note because coming into this earnings season, which was arguably one of the most important earnings seasons that we've seen in some time, expectations were very low. Sentiment is historically bearish, never before seen levels as we talked to in this week's Market Watch Weekly. So there wasn't a lot of optimism priced into the market. And this is where you see a little bit of good news can really get the market moving higher. So far, corporate America is doing considerably better than expected. Yes, things are slowing, but it's not yet being reflected in the earnings outlook. Guidance is coming down, but it still isn't nearly as bearish as perhaps a lot of people are anticipating. Also discussed in this week's Market Watch Weekly was inflationary data in Canada. On Wednesday, we learned that inflation for the month of June came in at 8.1%. That number is obviously very high, but it's lower than what was expected at around 8.3%. So in this week's Market Watch Weekly, we just run through that number a little bit. Talks to a little bit more of those input costs, which, as we spoke to extensively last week, CPI is a lagging indicator. So the situation has changed quite a bit so far in July. So there's a couple added charts in there that just really illustrate the price improvements that we're seeing so far this month. So we are expecting some of the CPI and definitely the core data to begin to roll over. Again, we aren't sounding the all clear horn, but it is beginning to look a little bit better out there in terms of that inflationary conversation. So we encourage you guys to have a read of this week's Market Watch Weekly. This will be the last edition here for a couple weeks, going to be on summer holidays. So hope everyone enjoys their weekend, and we'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks. Cheers.